Welcome to the first match of the Wolf in-house AoE 4 tournament. This is a tournament that has a wide variety of player skill levels and is just a bunch of people coming together who love Age of Empires and they just want to have some fun games. So for today, for the first match of this tournament, we have on the left side of the map Snowghost playing as the Mongols. And we have the Roos on the right side of the map being played by Tatooine0. Both players seem to be doing a standard opening. We've got 2 scouts for the Roos, not a third one yet, and we did not have an additional scout coming out from the Mongols.
Boulder Bay, this is quite the most interesting and annoying map sometimes. Yes. It's a long way around you have to go all the way around land-wise. And it could prove to be beneficial, but if you lose control of that water, it can be quite annoying.
Absolutely, and to mention to everyone as a quick reminder, in this tournament there is a simple rule. It is a best of 3, and if you are victorious with a civ, you cannot use it again within your set. So this is the first round, of course. So both players are allowed to use any team they want. Any player that wins here will not be allowed to use that team again in this set. So neither player did opt to play French, though, which, you know, if you're playing on Boulder Bay, whipping out the French to win the water is always a great move. The hulks are quite devastating.
Yeah, but speaking of boats, it does look like the Mongols have opted for that dock.
Oh, we do have a dock opener.
A little bit of a slower, but the Roos look like they have run out of sheep. A little bit too eager to get through their food supply. It happens to all of us.
It's really important whenever you got to do the sheep. We've all done it. You're just sending your scouts out, and you just don't come back to the base quick enough, and that can cause a little bit of a stagnation in your economy. It's just one of those things where you sit there and you're like, oh, I really thought I dropped those off.
But as the Roos, it makes a lot of sense. You want to get out there as soon as you can to grab all the hunts and everything you possibly can get ahead. So it's a common piece, but it looks like it's fine. The sheep have been corralled into the town center.
And the Roos have opened with wheelbarrow.
Nice and slow, but effective for their economy.
Yeah, they must have gotten a lot of gold already. Yeah, they've already killed, I think they've killed 2 sets of hunts so far. So
140, 150. So they're looking pretty good in terms of keeping up that bounty.
They're going to get another set of deer on the upper left side of the map, so that's really good. That scout is sitting on, how many sheep is that? 7 sheep in the north. We do have fishing coming out by the Mongols. The Roos, Roos had not decided to go water here, so it might be an uncontested fishing, which is very good because this is a lot of deep sea fish on Boulder Bay. And, of course, you do have the coastal trading post, which for some reason, when you click on it, does show you 4 different things that you could build. I don't know why that's there. It's a very weird panel. Do you see that?
If I recall, you can recruit units from trading posts, but that might be completely insane. Maybe the neutral. I don't know. I have never seen that panel myself before. Default the trading post that it acts as a weird thing.
Maybe in a past build. Anyways, back to the game. We have a very kind of slow start for both players. I mean, this is a wheelbarrow opening is of course a very conservative maneuver, and wheelbarrow though best ecotech in the game by a large margin. It gives you extra carrying capacity, so you don't have to have the villagers drop off really early. We have the Khan shooting at this scout right now, just slowly tickling him down. Scout's headed straight for the Mongol town center. Let's see if it starts taking hits from that. First little bit of action in the game. It does, in fact, start taking hits. If any villagers are garrisoned right here, it might be able to take them out, but it looks like we're not going to be garrisoning any villagers. But the scout's still taking shots from the town center with the Khan and the town center together. Oh, he's so close. He's at 18 health right now.
Yeah, but after that patch of the Khan not being able to shoot while moving, likely the scout will be able to get away simply by virtue of having to wait to shoot those arrows now.
For all of our sanity, they had to do that.
It is for the better.
It really is. It's as much as I'd love for him when you play Mongols to be able to do that. Alright, oh, the Rus are now on water. We do have a dot coming out for them. The Mongols do have enough to advance, so they can do that whenever they want.
Indeed, well, both teams are ready to go up if they want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're correct. The Mongols did have what they need. The Rus are sitting on it as well.
Looks like, though, they're spending most of their resources to continue up the villager production, taking it slower with even more fishing boats.
How many fishing boats are we sitting on? We got 6 fishing boats.
7th coming out, and the Golden Gate is going down for the Rus. Very standard, and sometimes I feel like no-brainer in terms of landmarks.
I mean, the Golden Gate as a landmark defines the Rus. When you play the Rus, you play the Golden Gate. It is so key to their identity of the Civ almost. You can get anything you want. We do have the load of fishing ships coming out, which I always think is hilarious that they can be upgraded into any of these.
It is interesting, but they are
Khan is
sometimes
taking damage.
A little bit of the worst, and the Khan is in fact taking some whacks, but it is look like it'll be fine.
This is an aggressive fishing ship over here. We got a fishing ship on the other side of Boulder Bay right here. Right by the Khan. I'm not sure what the fishing ship is doing there, but we will see. The Golden Gate is being built by 1 villager, so a slower age up. And, the Mongols, on the other hand, are going up with 6 villagers on the deer stones. So no silver tree memes today.
That is true. Well, they might be thinking to try to control the water. If Snowghost here managed to get that coastal trade, it is quite lucrative. But
it is in fact super lucrative.
Not as lucrative as the French.
But
French and their wonderful, what was it, 20-30% for water trade routes? It's ridiculous.
I don't know what it is.
Luckily, not part of this game.
Luckily not. If this is a French game, this might be a little bit fast. Alright, so we do have the Mongols who have reached age 2. The question is, will they... Oh, 2 scouts caught a villager trying to build a tower. They are forcing it back. Tower is deleted to save that wood. Wheelbarrow for the Mongols coming in, so we do not have a wheelbarrowless... No, everyone knows what a circle is in this game. That's what's happening. Everyone knows the circles, 100%. So, another tower coming out, a little bit close to the Mongol base, but it's definitely there just to deny any pressure. The Rus just cleaning up the deer there really quickly.
Yep, giving them all the... What did they end up with? 325. Very respectable hunt number there.
Absolutely.
Arrow slits coming in for that outpost to deny any other form of harassment, but the Rus do know that there are boats there by opting to make their own, continuously making their own fishing boats.
So talking about the Loda attack ships, how do you feel about them from a gameplay perspective? How do you feel about the attack ships?
Well, it's hard to say. When you go fight in the water, it tends to be versus French and other aspects. I feel that since there's no French in this game, and it is just the Mongols, they might actually be effective if massed into a decently sized army. And the versatility is probably more to speak about.
And these ships can switch back into fishing ships, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of being able to go on the offensive and return back to economy if you end up winning.
We have 2 sets of horsemen. That's what they're called. Absolutely. There's men on a horse. We have 2 sets of horsemen coming out, going across the top part of the map. The Rus did open up with a barracks, and now we're opening for this with a stable as well. So we have... They're kind of watching this main pass. Boulder Bay a lot of times comes down to controlling... Basically, you've got to control one of the 2 markets. That's where you're at, right? You're either controlling the northern trade post, or you're controlling the water and the southern trade post. If you control the water and the southern trade post, you always have the ability to do landings, so it's much harder to play from controlling the land than it is from controlling the sea. The horsemen just dodging the army, potentially not even seeing it, both players unaware of each other at this moment, hiding in the dark forest, from what I can see. Yes, absolutely, those guys are hidden in the dark forest. a lot of... We have a transport ship for the Mongols.
I am quite interested in what's going to do.
I'm very curious about this transport ship as well. Alright, the Khan is getting caught by the 2 scouts and the spearmen, but he's pulled back before any real damage is done. And he now can shoot and move because we are now in the second age. 2 horsemen moving in, but they're going to disengage because they see that spearman and they do not want to take that fight. Once again, we do have this transport ship. I do hope that I really want it to do things. You know, again, I always think it's funny. The Rus don't even have to... Do they have to go back to their... No, they don't. They just deposit. Once they have a full set of fish, they just teleport it into your bank account.
It is quite interesting.
They just teleport the fish into your banking account. It's really...
Fishing upgrade for actual food coming in.
Horsemen fighting the scouts in the north. Spearmen just trying to get into this fight. But again, the horsemen just maneuver away. We do have the chain of outposts slowly coming down for the Mongols as he moves north across the map. Mongols' major strength, especially in this patch, is the Springle Towers. The Springle Towers are insanity.
Yes, well,
alright, we're taking a fight in the middle. Both the horsemen are going straight for the spearman. Spearman is focused on the Khan. The Khan gets pulled back right before he dies, and the spearman goes down. If the Khan can make it out of this fight, it was a very effective micro by Snowghost here. Two more horsemen are involved, trying to take out the scout. The Khan has stopped moving though. One more strike from the and he goes down. But he did win that trade. Only losing the Khan, at least for the moment, so a little bit of vision, but he took out a spearman and a scout. That is a good trade for Snowghost right here. There is a Rus villager on the coastline here, moving a little too close to these horsemen. Oh, pulls the aggro of one. Horseman slowly killing him, and we have an advance to castle by the Mongols.
And they're going up classically with...
That caught this villager so hard.
That was an unfortunate catch.
That is a very unfortunate catch. And he goes down. Transport boat's still there. I'm beginning to think it might have been a slight misclick on Snowghost's part, but we will see. We do have a light junk available. So we do have a little bit of warships in the water. They are going up with a step rebound. Just a ridiculous landmark. 50% more gold when it is dropped off at this landmark. So you can just run around with this thing. You just get so much money as the Mongols.
Well, it is... Ridiculous is the Mongols' name of the game.
That's true. We have an army of spearmen and early knights inside the base of the Rus, although they are housing cap right now, which is stopping any further advancement. We are going up with the Abbey of Trinity for the Rus right now.
Could be looking probably to grab those relics around. Not a bad choice. Rus have pretty good options for castle and be very circumstantial in which one you actually end up wanting.
My personal favorite is probably the hunting cabin, but that's just because it's. I think conceptually it's cool that like it just spawns deer and you eat them. I like that a lot. It gives you that food output. It gives you the continuous hunt. Although our player here got more than enough hunt, but it does help you generate all the way up to the 500 hunt that you could generally need. Right now, the army composition of Tatooine0 is very good if we have just pure horsemen from the Mongol player. And we have Lancers coming out now for the Mongols. So they're still going to be pretty hard countered by these spears. They're going to have to bring something in order to engage those fights. If they want to engage them head on, they could just run away. That is the Mongol forte, being extremely fast.
And is the advantage, of course, of having horsemen.
It's true.
But it looks like the Rus themselves have decided to take more of a defensive posture.
And we have an advance to Imperial by the Mongol player going up with the white stupa.
Well, when you don't have too much pressure happening, it makes sense to take the more economic route.
I absolutely agree. Let's do a quick villager count check We have 47 against 52. Relatively even. However, we do have to remember that the Mongols are sitting on 12 fishing chips. 12. Sitting on 12 fishing chips, and we do have 6. We have 2 load of attack ships. Okay, like, and we have 5 load of fishing ships.
It does look like I think the Rus are preparing to go after those fishing ships in a moment here. Realizing that taking care of the water might be a good choice. Though that Abbey Trivity is almost getting close to completion. A little bit more and they'll have relic control. A shaman has come out for the Mongols too. Probably looking to grab some of those relics.
That's always a good move here. Especially both players, we actually have pretty even relic spawns. Unfortunately, I say pretty even because this third one on the upper right side is a little bit closer to the Rus than it is to the Mongols. But realistically, both players have access to at least 2. Step Redoubt is moving to its new location, a much bigger gold mine. So once we get to Imperial, the question is, what is the play by Snowghost here to defeat the current army composition they have seen? Orvu is depleted, so we'll see where that goes next.
It looks like it's going to be archers and lancers.
Archers and lancers?
Archers and lancers.
Very classic combo, knight archers. Although a lot of times people use knight crossbows as well.
Oh, dragging in some of those extra workers to finish up the White Stupa early. Get that stone generation.
12 people on the White Stupa. What a rapid advance speed. We do have a warrior monk coming out from the Abbey of Trinity.
Nice and cheap. You can start spamming those things. Hopefully there's a good amount of relics to grab. Easily grab 2 of them. Perhaps a third on the top right, if it's not being guarded. Oh, and the attack ships are moving out. They are going to go some fishing boat hunting. Oh, and there's a war junk there. That is no longer a transport ship.
That is a war junk.
These attack ships are not prepared to fight it.
We do not have the spin to win, though.
Yes, and this is, without that Tinkerer's construction, it can be quite difficult for those attack ships to do much. No heavy ships to speak of. But the Rus player now knows of the massive fishing economy that's here. No doubt now extremely tempting, and we see 2 more docks coming down. No doubt to start producing a lot more ships. More war junks coming out. And a transport ship is moving out with the war junk. Which I'm interested to see what happens, but this war junk will end up spotting the dock and no doubt start taking shots at it. In the meantime, it appears that the Rus have got their warrior monks up and are looking to probably got some blacksmith upgrades, attack and defense. Along with that, the continued production of lancers is coming through to keep building up that army mass. Ooh, it does look like a transport is being used here. Looks like it's going to be filled up with a bunch of lancers, and these are probably going to come across.
Oh, we are going to get the use of this transport.
And 2 more war junks to come about onto those docks. Here comes the transport ship right now. The army itself in the north. This is going to be probably quite a devastating raid, though it looks like it's going to get spotted by the fishing ships that are down there. Another war junk. And the rest of the army just sitting tight. We have some left over archers, and there goes the shaman. Shaman is going out, looking probably to grab a relic. And the transport.
9 lancers have landed.
Here they are, burning down the dockyard first.
Yeah, this has definitely turned into a water fight on this map. Not something I expected from what we saw out of the gate, but this is 100% turned into a battle of the seas. These Loto attack ships really struggling against these ballista ships.
Indeed, they are outmatched in many aspects. And got a few of them, but they do not...
coming in right now to deal with the Lancers. Lancers have to get out of there because those Spearmen are going to do very short work of them.
Indeed, they are... Ooh, got a good charge. And it looks like they're just going to fight to the death, taking down what they can.
These are not elite Lancers either, so they are not going to be able to get an advantage on these Spearmen. They're trying to... They disengage, try to go burn this mining camp, but they are just not going to be able to get through it fast enough. They're going to be absolutely cleaned up by the Spearmen and the Roos Knights.
But it does look like these dockyards will be going down. Another one coming down in the south. The battle for the water is not over quite yet.
No, but it is definitely one-sided.
The
a loaded demolition ship coming out right there might have been pretty devastating.
I see bombards and traction trebs inside the production queue here. So it looks like a push is being constructed.
Well, the Roos now have lost control of the water. Wait a minute. No, they haven't.
They have a dockyard down there, and they could convert these ships into demo ships if they really needed to deal with it immediately.
These are the fixed demo ships, not the demo ships that would explode 3 times, which was amazing.
Oh. It made some of the water maps a little bit ridiculous.
It was always funny.
Mountain shrines? Mountainistic shrines. Well, the thing allows them to act as overus. They're coming in for the prayer tent there.
We have a keep being dropped on the wood line. That is a good spot for this keep. Very hard to siege because the forest will prevent the cannon from getting in line of sight. It will not stop the traction trebs, though.
Very good defensively. That shaman is slowly making its way around, and it looks like it is being... Oh, there is movement going on in terms of the economics here in the Mongols play, and the Roos are looking to age up, I believe.
I think that might be what's on the table. One thing to note here is that the Mongols now have control of both sacred sites, because the Mongols can go and capture the one in the south, and they can capture the one up here in the north. If they do that, they will force the Roos into a timed death here. Death by sacred site.
Also looks like we have some men-at-arms coming in for both teams.
We actually are also getting some armor and weapons upgrades for both teams as well. No Boyar's Fortitude yet for the Roos, but their army composition still is half spearmen, so it makes a lot of sense. Once again, using one villager to put on a keep. Very villager efficient, but...
I do like the 3 blacksmiths from the Mongol player here. No doubt, realizing that quick and fast upgrades are the way to go.
That is absolutely going to be the case here. And if looking at all these other production buildings, it looks like we've got a swath of units coming in. We have men-at-arms, we have archers, and we have elite lancers.
Very important upgrades all to come in for everybody.
We are sitting... The one thing that the Mongols are struggling on right now is their gold income. Their gold income is 400 a minute right now, which is significantly lower than all their other incomes, which is really difficult in Imperial, because in Imperial you have a lot of very expensive blacksmith techs that you can buy.
But they did just get their 3rd relic, which should help a lot with their gold income.
That will 100% help.
Well, the villager count has separated now that the Mongols have got their 2nd town center up a little bit. You're looking at 74 for the Mongols, up to the 58 of the Roos.
74 on 58. That is quite... Well, I mean, that's what double TC will do for you. After about 4 minutes, you're going to get that advantage. The castle is almost completed. Keep is almost completed. We have men-at-arms. Both teams have very close compositions. It's men-at-arms, lancers, and then we have the Mongols with archers, and we have the Roos with spears.
It looked like the Roos have decided that economics are the way to go, but these war junks are about to find the other dockyard.
Yeah, they are doing it right now. Will these war junks spin to win? Will they just be doing some drive-by attacks right now? Looks like they're just doing some drive-by attacks, but they're being pulled back. Wait, no, no, Snowghost does in fact see it, and they're coming straight at it, starting to just wipe out these load of fishing ships.
That is quite unfortunate, but the Battle of the Water was not in the Bruce's favor.
No, because they got... Now, these ships are going to take up a lot of population, so if this game goes to... What is that deep-sea fish outside of the map? All the way on the bottom side of this map, there is a deep water fish that is outside of the map.
I do see it fishing it, too.
That's incredible.
Well, luckily these fishing boats don't have to return to the dock, so none of them will accidentally be caught by these war junks that are standing there by the dockyard. Oh, does look like the Mongols are slowly massing all their siege. And moving ever closer to try to push. And here comes the capturing of the sacred site.
First sacred site, and we have elite army tactics and biology coming in for the Mongols. Two very expensive, very strong upgrades.
Very important ones, too. Oh, it looks like a little bit of a scuffle happening. Roots themselves not taking that engagement very well.
No, because these villagers, they're going to march straight into this army. They don't know that it's here. Oh, no. The Roots are absolutely caught here out of position. This forward assault force being cut to pieces by the Mongols. This might give the Mongols the spur they need to advance the attack. And we do, in fact, see them pushing a little bit more forward to clean up those last two spearmen. Do they bring up their siege and do they start the final push here? And I say final push because right now the Rus are down in technology, but we do have Streltsy coming in. Because who needs unit upgrades when your units start fully upgraded? Oh. Mongols are just walking in. It is the move command, the dreaded move command. But they are now fighting. They're pushing straight onto this gold mine, going right after the Streltsy right here. Streltsy just moved just a little bit when fighting the elite lancers, which absolutely slowed them down during their ramp up speed.
Looks like these Streltsy will be cleaning up most of the forces here, though. But those gold miners did not make it out of that engagement.
No, and that's a very big win for the Mongols here. Because we got Streltsy pouring into this forward position. The Mongols do not have a super good answer for the Streltsy and their damage output. But the one thing they do have is a much larger economy. And that loss of those gold miners is going to really hurt Tatooine's ability to mass these gunpowder units.
Indeed. It is going to be quite difficult, and we'll see if there will be a transition in army composition. Oh, it does look like farms are coming down finally for the Rus after being forced out of all their food locations. They do have a decent mass of Streltsy, which can be quite effective in this fight. Looks like some hunting cabins are being cleared out right now, as the Mongols attempt to rebuild a force to push in with. Biology has come in for those elite lancers, giving them a much needed health boost.
Absolutely. No, yeah, they picked up that biology right before that first fight, and that's why they were able to clean it up. But I will say, once again, the Streltsy super powerful in the open. Their attack speed increase and their damage increase just for staying in place. Very, very strong. One thing though that we do not have yet for Tatooine is a university. The university would help quite a bit, giving the gunpowder units their upgrade that they need.
It's true, but without luck. But it is quite expensive on the gold side, And it looks like every amount of that is going directly into more Streltsy to begin with.
That's absolutely the case. The Mongols are sitting on a huge pile of gold, but once this gold mine runs out, which is about another 6,000, but once the 6,000 gold runs out for the Rus, they do not have another place that they can get gold from unless they push out very aggressively. In the south, we do actually still have some deep water fish being taken by the load of fishing boats.
Yes, it is saving them a lot by allowing them not to have to return to any dockyard.
Absolutely. We have more lancers who are massed on the left side of the map here.
More armory upgrades coming in.
For another full assault.
Another mangonel, 2 mangonels, which will provide quite needed counter to the Streltsy.
The Streltsy will have to push the mangonels if they want to be very effective here. But that is a good amount of Streltsy. That is 36 Streltsy. And the Streltsy look like they're pushing towards the Mongols.
Who would prove to be advantageous, as the Mongols have not fully massed their troops yet.
They have not. Streltsy are choosing to be in square formation. Streltsy coming in, moving straight towards the mangonel. The mangonel is already set up, though, so when these people walk into range, the mangonel will fire. Traction treads starting to engage. First shot of the mangonel, second shot of the mangonel coming in. Massive damage on the Streltsy. They are very closely packed. These mangonel are going to do massive damage again. They moved forward, losing their attack boost, but they're now straight engaged with these knights. Man, those mangonels just cleaned that fight up for Snowghost right there.
That is the power of that range damage increase that they ranged unit damage increase they got not too long ago.
Wow, that was quite advantage here. And now Snowghost is going to take that and he's going to try to roll it into a win. He's moving straight for the Rus base. The Rus do have more units coming in, but they are now crossbowmen and archers. Their gold stockpile is just not enough. We have an outpost being dropped right in front of the Rus. These two armies absolutely seeing each other.
And it looks like the Rus are deducing some springles.
I was mistaken. They actually can't see each other. They are both slightly outside of each other's vision range. That's how tricky vision can be in this game sometimes. Look at that. Switching between the views, you can see right now the Springled gives the vision that Tatooine needs, and he can see the army right on his doorstep. Snowghost still does not see how close he is to the opponent's front line, but when this outpost goes up, I'm pretty sure that is going to change.
The more Springles are coming in. Two Springles are quite enough, and those Warjunks have finally found the rest of the fishing ships while this is going on.
Yes, they have. They're now exploring into the oceans to find it. I also like how the load of fishing ships have the little fish on them as they sink, the fish being returned back to the sea where they belong. Does that matter? Absolutely. All right, back to the front over here. We have a massive amount of units. Lancers moving straight in, taking some hits from the Streltsy. Streltsy are chasing the Lancers. He pulled part of those units aggro. Moving forward, we have the Springles. The Springles are definitely going to be targeting that first mangonel. 3 shots should take one out immediately. Lancers going straight for the Springles. Mangonel also trying to help with the Springles, not firing on the archers quite yet. But these Springles are going down.
We'll get off another shot.
Mangonel is still in play.
It's still in play, but it's moving forward. It's not shooting at the archers. The other Springle's going down.
If this Mangonel deploys, this fight is going to go very quickly one way. But these are fully upgraded Lancers against archers. They might not even need it, but the Mangonel is deployed anyway, dealing massive damage.
The last Springle coming in a little bit too late to save this archer army.
But it will be sniping this villager. And it takes the villager out.
No more additional towers on the front here.
No, and the siege is coming in for Snowghost. It looks like he's going to be able to push in here. Very limited options for Tatooine at this time. He's bringing in some more Streltsy, but he's going to have to bring in quite a bit, and he's got to be able to take out this mangonel. And GG is called by Tatooine. First game goes to Snowghost in the best of 3.